My full name is Antonia, but everyone calls me Toni since I've been growing up. And I am the founder of Boss Mom Living, but also Boss Mom Realtor. And I am a realtor, a mom of two, a wife, and I do content creation. I also have a background in education.
Awesome. Seems like you have a lot of fun things
Yes.
going on. Yeah. So could you share your journey into real estate and content creation and kind of what inspired you to pursue that career while continuing teaching?
So I feel like ever since I was little, I've always been interested in like so many things. Like I love the arts, I love singing, I loved taking care of kids, I love real estate. I always knew that I wanted to own my own business. And so I'm like, why not do it all?
Mm-hmm.
So I started with education when I was younger. My parents are from the island of Trinidad and Tobago. And so when they came to this country, I always had them as like mentors, I guess you could say, to see like how hard they worked. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always known that like working hard was like the only way.
Yeah.
I just had that drive just from watching my parents and how they did things in front of me and my siblings. And as I got older, I continued with the education. I was like, I don't just want to do that. I also want to go into real estate. I love houses. And it all kind of ties in a certain way because I'm still
Mm-hmm.
dealing with like people and giving them their dream, whether it's reaching a goal in getting to the next grade or reaching a goal in buying a home. And then the
Absolutely.
content creation all started with, I had infertility after me and my husband got married. And it was a sad time in my life, but
Mm-hmm.
also a time where I just like meditate a lot and just like kept the faith. And eventually, when I got pregnant, I was like, I'm pregnant now. I want to share this with everybody.
Yeah.
And so I started a YouTube channel and then it went into Instagram and then hence Boss Mom Living.
Awesome.
And the Boss Mom Living aspect, I failed to share why it's called Boss Mom Living. It's because I'm a modern day mom, and modern day moms, I feel like we don't just stay at home anymore. We can do it all, not
Yeah.
just, stay at home, cook, clean, but we could also go into our careers and do things that we love
Right.
and figure out the time management, just like the men did back in the
Yeah,
day.
exactly. And then what are some ways that you find that balance between being a mom and then balancing your career?
Yeah, so I feel like I never fully have like a equal balance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think anybody really has like that equal balance, but it's just prioritizing what you feel like is more important in your life. And for me, that's family.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, like, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I always make sure that I plan and prioritize my family first, and then schedule everything else around that.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And then, as both an educator and a realtor, how have the skills you've developed in education shaped the way you serve your real estate clients?
That's a good question. So, again, like with education, I have to help students reach a goal, like get
Mm-hmm.
from right now, third grade to fourth grade, or I did high school before too. I helped seniors graduate and get to college.
Mm-hmm.
They had to pass certain tests. It's the same thing with getting clients in real estate, their home. Everybody wants that American dream. They want to get that home or they want to invest in property and build wealth that way. So it's all a matter of figuring out what your goal is and then figuring out the steps to get there.
Yeah, and I think it's really special that you have that background as an educator because it brings a different way that you can serve your clients.
Yeah.
And so you originally started the real estate licensing process during COVID, right?
Yeah.
What kept you motivated during that period with so much uncertainty in the world?
I think, the world was shut down and it made people realize this could be it. So like go for it. If it's something that I always wanted to do, just this is the time to go for it. I've tried it even before COVID, but I was like, you know what? I have a little bit more time and I think I had my first daughter and then I got pregnant again, which we can still consider COVID around
Hmm.
2021.
Yeah.
I know I had my second daughter in 2021. So it was still that COVID era.
Hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wait till my kids get older to
Right.
do this. Let me do this right now. And so, yeah, that was my mindset.
Yeah, awesome. And then what have been some of the most memorable client experiences you've had so far, and why have they stuck with you?
So there's multiple aspects. So with real
Hmm.
estate, I would say some of the most memorable is just seeing the joy of my clients' face when they either get that home or they sell their home, or I'm taking them into a space where, like, wow, how'd you find this place? So just, again, helping families find the place that they love and then reaching their goals. That's been the most important thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same thing like with the educational background. I know I keep going back to that, but with the
Mm-hmm.
educational background, just seeing and knowing that I was a part of helping people through a certain process
Mm-hmm.
gives me joy. It's like I'm giving back and it's like a passion of mine.
Yeah.
And with content creation, just sharing my motherhood journey and knowing that there's other moms that either went through infertility or have kids that act the same way, or
Mm-hmm.
they're also a girl mom like me and they get it. Um, all of that like is ways that I feel like I'm giving back and
Yeah.
sharing my journey.
Yeah, and it's so special because buying a home can be a really big step for a lot of families and a lot of people. And then, how do you help your clients feel supported and confident throughout that process when it can be emotional or stressful?
Yeah, that's a great question. So from the beginning, I have my clients fill out like a client intake form and I go through each step of the process with them. I don't know if anybody's like me, but I'm type A and I need to know things before a certain time. So I let them know, okay, first you're going to have to get pre-approved and then you're
Mm-hmm.
going to have to do this. And sometimes it may take this long and we have to get an inspection, or maybe they may not require an inspection. So just letting them know beforehand, I feel like kind of lessons, because there are still going to be some parts of it that may be stressful, but just
Mm-hmm.
letting them know ahead of time that these are the expectations and I'm here for you every step of the way. If you have any questions, my goal is to help that process be less stressful for you.
Yeah, walking with them every step of
Yeah.
the way. And as AI is becoming nearly
Mm.
part of nearly every industry, while that technology can be helpful, what role do you believe a trusted realtor will continue to play that like technology can't replicate?
Yeah, so I feel like AI could be super helpful, and I've used it with content creation,
Hmm.
with mainly content creation, but I also feel like it can be not harmful, but like it could be helpful to an extent. I think I've mentioned that I've seen before that there are some people who said, "Oh, I've been able to sell my home alone just by using ChatGPT or something like that." And it's like, okay, ChatGPT and those other things, they're very generalized and every market is different. And a realtor in a particular market is going to know better than any AI what can benefit you. So I think you can use AI to an extent, but then you need a professional to help guide you and like make sure that you're going the right direction and you're not just following a generalized computer system.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel like AI it can't, it doesn't have that human connection,
That
right?
too, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are some other trends or changes that you're noticing within the real estate industry?
Some trends or changes that I'm noticing. Hmm. I guess right now I am seeing people being more relieved in a sense in terms of the market and the interest rates changing,
Hmm.
going up, going down. I am seeing more people buying. I'm also seeing people being more comfortable with selling in different markets. So that's a good thing. And what I would say is don't solely focus on the market and what's happening in the market right now,
Hmm.
because that's just history showing us that things change. It's not about what's happening in the market. It's about when is the best time for you. So you can't just go what's going on in the world or what's going on with everybody else. You got to figure out what's best for you, contact your
Hmm.
realtor, figure out your plan, and then go from there.
And what are some steps for people that are looking to start working with a realtor? What are some steps they can take to find the right realtor for them?
Ooh, that's a good one. I say this with like any professional that you work with. Make sure they align with your values and goals and that they're communicating very well, they get back to you very well, because as a realtor on the flip side, there are a lot of times where I'm busy with like an open house or whatever, but make sure you find someone who sets expectations. You guys communicate about what you expect as a buyer, seller, what they expect from you as their client, and then go from there.
Yeah. And as you continue to build your business, what have been some of the biggest lessons you've learned about entrepreneurship and just putting yourself out there?
That it is a process. I know we're like in a day and age where like we want everything like here and now, but it is a process, and I have to remember that not to be hard on myself, because sometimes I can't be hard on myself. And I'm like, I'm not where I want to be yet. But there are some people that look at me and they're like, oh, well, you're doing this. Like sometimes I talk to my husband or I talk to my friends and they're like, are you kidding me? Like, you've done this, this, and that, and you've accomplished this, you've gotten through this. And I think sometimes we're the biggest negative or naysayer to ourselves sometimes. And sometimes I got to look at myself and be like, no, you've gotten here, you can do it. And you can keep going. Even though you haven't gotten there yet, you will get there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned hoping to transition into real estate full time one day.
Yes.
What excites you most about working towards that next chapter?
I think what excites me most is that I've been wearing so many hats, and I love and I pour into my students with education. But I also love that someday I'll get to pour into families and also have more time for my family. So I think that's what I'm looking most forward to when it comes to doing that full time.
Yeah. And then is there anything else that you are super excited to accomplish? Or is there any goals within real estate that you're looking to accomplish in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so I am working on something now behind the scenes, more of investing side of real estate. So I'm hoping that, that continues to progress. You know what? It will progress, and I'm excited for when it does. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and just doing more of that. I'm really into real estate investing, as long as helping other families build generational wealth. So I would like to continue doing that as well, like making sure that I'm helping others.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful passion when people are passionate about helping others.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for anyone that is looking to start content creation or take that next step but are too afraid, what advice would you have for that person?
I would say don't overthink it and just do it. And just don't feel like you have to be the best editor or know all the cool tools. All you need is your phone and a camera, and just be you. Don't worry about being, what do the kids say now? Cringe. Like,
Oh,
don't worry
yeah.
about being cringe. Sometimes people like your cringe. So
Yeah.
just be authentic, be yourself, and don't overthink it. Just post
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah, because I feel like people will connect with you when they see that you're showcasing your true personality. Or
Yeah,
you're being
I
yourself.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And when a client thinks back on their experience working with you years from now, what do you hope they remember the most?
That I listened to them and I was there every step of the way, and that I got them to where they wanted to be.
Absolutely. And for anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in the DMV area, where can they connect with you and learn more about your services?
Boss Mom Realtor on Instagram. So it's Boss Mom Realtor all together, and then there's an underscore after it. And on that page, you can fill out my client intake form in my bio. And then I always put my phone number where you can text me, or you could DM me on there too. I'm here willing to help and answer any of your questions.
Awesome. And as we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to add that we haven't touched on today?
I feel like you covered most of it. I don't think there's anything else. Again, I'm an open book, so if you have any questions, just reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Toni, for joining me on the podcast and sharing your knowledge and inspiring story with us. I wish you the very best in everything that comes your way in the future.
Thank you. I wish the same for you too.
Thank you so much.
If you're a business owner, founder, or entrepreneur, we would love to have you on the Alamon Show. Just go to alamonphotography.com/podcast, sign up to be featured.